now. Keep that rolling on the app, and we'll try to get the video back up and rolling today and put the new link for you on the website as well. Week 7 of college football coming up. More on that after I tell you about the great folks at the Pants Store, where you can get your game day shirts, your game day gear, game day hats, sunglasses, game day accessories, and a lot more at 5 locations of the Pants Store: Crestline, Leeds, Trussville, Tuscaloosa, or Huntsville. And don't forget online at pantsstore.com, pantsstore.com. Crestline, Leeds, Trussville, Tuscaloosa, and Huntsville, those 5 locations. Also, ladies' game day fashion. The weather, LT tells you after 80s this week. If you're going to the Missouri game, if you're going to Texas A&M, Missouri.
No, even this weekend, I think the high in Birmingham was like 70 is the high, and it's going to go down in the low 50s.
So we're in the line of demarcation as we roll now to the fall weather. Get that new fashion right now at the Pants Store. 5 locations: Crestline, Leeds, Trussville, Tuscaloosa, Huntsville, and online at pantsstore.com. I wanted to ask you, while we're talking about preseason or midseason all-American teams, I wanted to ask you about right now, if I said all-SEC quarterback, who do you go with?
I'd probably go Corral. It's a toss-up to me if it's Corral or Bryce Young.
I would go Bryce just based on the head-to-head matchup. Not that that's fair to Corral.
Yeah, that really isn't.
I still would go Bryce.
But I think I would go Corral, but I'm fine with Bryce Young.
Yeah, I mean, take either one of those
Give me
guys.
either one.
What we thought would be an easy Tank Bigsby answer in the preseason, it's not the case now.
This is easy.
If I said best running back in the league right now, it is.
To me, it's Chris Rodriguez.
Yeah,
Chris
I would go with him.
Rodriguez.
There's so much pressure on him, too, in that Kentucky offense.
Yeah.
I mean, he is it, man.
He is it. And you look at the 6 games they've played, 4 of the games he's gone over 100 yards. He's got close to 800 yards. He's leading the SEC in rushing. I think you got to go Rodriguez, and they're undefeated.
So if you put one more running back and give me 2 running backs on the All-SEC team,
I think I'd go Brian Robinson.
I think
it'd be my
you
number 2.
probably would go Brian Robinson.
Put B-Rob right there.
Yep.
So all of a sudden now your All-SEC team has an Alabama, in some cases, quarterback and an Alabama running back. Receivers.
Well,
in the
Butte,
league.
I mean, he's still got 9 touchdowns. I would go Butte.
I mean, it's the midseason point, even though he may not play again. It looks like he will not this year. He is, to me, the best receiver in the league right now.
Drummond at Ole Miss has played well. I mean, there's no way we'd have 2 Kentucky skill players, but Wan'Dale Robinson has put up pretty good numbers in that offense. For that offense, I don't know. Receiver's pretty tough.
You know, he's a tight end, but Bowers has been really good for Georgia.
Really good.
Yep.
Jamison Williams has been really good for Alabama.
I mean, he has. I don't know, man. That's a kind of a crapshoot. Treylon Burks is fantastic for Arkansas. You know, State, their receivers are always going to have good numbers. Polk. I mean, for them, I don't know where you would go at receiver. I really don't. It's a bunch of guys that are a lot alike.
Yeah. Coach of the year, we said yesterday, Mark Stoops right now.
That'd be mine, yeah. Maybe nationally even.
Yeah, Kirby Smart will get a lot of love on the other side. So halfway through the college football season, as we work our way towards Todd Fuhrman coming up at the top of the hour right here on the next round. We are facing a weekend of games here where there are 2 that could go a long way to deciding a division. If conference championships mean anything, it does in the SEC because it often leads to a college football playoff, Kentucky and Georgia. Do you think that the winner wins the East in this game?
I do.
Does the cocktail party factor into this at this point?
Well, I mean, Florida's got 2 losses.
I find it hard to believe if Georgia loses this game to Kentucky, they're going to lose again based on what we've seen halfway through the season. And I brought this up yesterday. Even if Kentucky loses this game, they've still got a chance to win 11 games. I mean, they're going to be favored in most of their games. It's not a difficult schedule to navigate. So, I think definitely the winner of this wins the East.
What is weird is what Lance just said. If Georgia loses this game and loses another one, they're going to need Kentucky to have 2 losses. And Kentucky, against all odds, would have the tiebreaker because they would have beaten both Florida and Georgia.
That's right.
Even if they all end up with 2 losses.
What kind of a mess is this?
I don't think Kentucky.
I'm trying to think out of my head. If Kentucky beats Georgia this week, Georgia and Kentucky both are on the table. Georgia's left out of the SEC championship game, and Alabama runs the table and beats Kentucky. So you've got 1 loss Bama, 1 loss Kentucky, 1 loss Georgia. Does the SEC get 3?
I don't think. No,
not 3.
I don't even think they would get 2 in that scenario.
Sadly, I think Kentucky would be out.
I don't think either of them are in.
Yeah. And
you don't think any of the 3 are in?
No. Alabama. I don't think either Kentucky or Georgia would be in your scenario. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. It would be. It depends on how this game plays. It really is. Because, first of all, Kentucky is not winning this game.
They are not winning this game. I don't know what happens to them after this game. because they're still at State, and that's going to be a tough game for them. Tennessee is resurgent. If they can survive those two, though, they finish at Vandy, New Mexico State, and at Louisville. They're done with conference play in the second week of November.
I think they're worst case 10-2.
I do too.
But they win the SEC if they beat Georgia this weekend, and a long-standing state bet would come to an end. LT had Kentucky just making it to the SEC championship game. Not winning it, just making it to the SEC championship game. And I had Alabama basketball getting to the Final Four, which would come first. I took Alabama basketball to the Final Four before Kentucky got to the SEC championship game.
I still feel good about your bet here.
Do you really?
I mean, I think Nate Oates will have them in a Final Four in the next 3 or 4 years.
But
Kentucky, even this year.
Kentucky football's 60 minutes away. They're one game away.
This 60 minutes looks like Mount Everest.
It really does. It's like you got 60 minutes to climb Mount Everest.
So you're given zero chances.
If I put you in a straitjacket, could you get out in 60 minutes?
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I'd have to
dislocate your shoulder?
Dislocate both shoulders.
Did y'all randomly see
one of them off and then ask Brown to help me?
I don't know if it was pregame or halftime of Bears Raiders this past week, but I think it was Chris Angel because I didn't have the volume on. But they put him on a crane. They put a straight jacket on him. They put him on a crane, hung him upside down like 300 feet in the air, and he took the jacket off while being suspended in the air.
Chris Angel did that?
Well, I think it looked like Chris Angel. I mean, he's got that look, right? I mean, I don't know how many magicians are in Vegas like that. But
he looked like Chris Angel upside down in a straitjacket 300 feet in the air.
But that's the entertainment they get in Las Vegas. But anyway, to answer your question, I think it's about the same odds you getting out of a straitjacket in 60 minutes as Kentucky finding a way to win in 60 minutes.
It is pretty remarkable. This is the second time Mark Stoops has had them in this game where the winner is going to win the East. Yep. Now, the last time they were in it, it was a guarantee. The winner absolutely won the East that day. This is not a guarantee, but it is hard not to do it if you've won this game.
Yeah, the season, though, is being compared to the chaos of 2007.
Right, where they were involved in.
Where LSU was number one in the country, went to Kentucky, got beat, and then Kentucky didn't finish the deal after that.
They didn't, but Kentucky was coming off that Florida win, and I think was a top 10 team at the time. If
they were with Andre Woodson, and that was the last time they beat a number one team, and it was in triple overtime. That was a fun game.
Yeah, 1 versus 9, I think, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that was Rich Brooks at his peak at Kentucky.
You know what I wonder? Mark Stoops, I've always said if he gets the opportunity to get out, he'll get out, but he's making so much money now. I think he feels some loyalty. I think he's really comfortable in this spot. But if you lose this game and you go 10-2 or 11-1, if you're Stoops, do you start to think, man, I'm just never going to be able to get over that hump?
Yes, absolutely. That's what I said earlier. He's got the best team he'll ever have there, and he watches the Georgia tape, and he's like, I don't know how we beat these guys. And this is the best team I'll ever have here.
All of our poll questions today at Next Round Live, on Twitter, is brought to you by our friends at Cowan Equipment. Trash is coming up in a second. Todd Fuhrman talking about all the games. We'll ask him what chances he gives Kentucky and Athens. But Cowan Equipment, they can help you with a variety of different things. In fact, if you need to hang a magician upside down in Vegas, Cowan can help you.
They could do the crane for you. That's not a problem. If you're having a hard time finding that new plastic on the seat piece of heavy equipment, check out Cowan Equipment's rental fleet hit list for a wide range of well-maintained equipment from the rental fleet. For sale now, you can visit cowan.com/featured used equipment or call 1-800-239-COWAN for more information.
Arch Manning's heading to Texas this week. But before that, his high school team plays Thursday night. It'll be picked up by the NBC Sports Network. 7 o'clock, you can watch Newman and St. Charles play each other at 7 if you want to see Arch Manning on Thursday night. And then he goes to Texas to take in the game this week and hang out with Sark and the crew out there. Trash is next. This is the Next Round as you watch us on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, and download the Next Round app in the Apple and Android stores.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
you're looking for a fun golf atmosphere that is laid back with a peaceful environment, the Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280, is perfect for you. Just a short drive from Birmingham, this 18-hole, 200-acre track with rolling fairways and ample greens is the definition of peacefulness of the country just miles from the city. Enjoy a great lunch before your round and a cocktail on the wraparound porch after 18. Come see us today. The Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280.
All right, guys, I don't know about you, but there is one game I don't ever want to be out of. And that's why I'm glad we have the Alabama Men's Clinic right here in Birmingham. They have treated thousands of Alabama men for ED. There are many different causes like a heart condition, diabetes, a reaction to medication, or simply low testosterone. The Alabama Men's Clinic staff will find the problem, and some of you will be back in the game the day after your first appointment. You can set up that appointment by calling 205-598-7000 or go to the website, alabamamensclinic.com. I know what you're thinking. A lot of guys actually just take a pill, but sometimes that pill doesn't work, or it can give you unwanted side effects. Let the pros come up with your game plan. There's no need to wait. Depression, anxiety, a new connection with that special person in your life. It could be all just one important play away. Call 205-598-7000 or get back in the action at alabamamensclinic.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round. I'm absolutely loving my Alfa Romeo Stelvio that I've been in for months now, and right now, you can get up to $3,500 bonus cash plus 1.9% financing for 72 months on the all-new 2021 Alfa Romeo Giulias and the Stelvios at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. Come experience the passion and performance of Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo USA of Birmingham.com, 1837 Grants Mill Road, exit 27, right off of I-459. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about our friends at Wayne's. Look, fall is here. You want to enjoy that outdoor weather. Imagine sitting out there on the Saturday, manning the grill. You're watching football. You don't want to deal with the mosquitoes. Don't let the mosquitoes ruin your perfect day. The professionals at Wayne's can protect you, your family, and your pets. Call today, 1-866-WAYNES1. You can always go online, callwaynes.com. Fall weather is here. Enjoy it with the family, mosquito-free. You can do it with our friends at Wayne's.
For your next round of residential and commercial termite protection, pest prevention, mosquito control, and lawn care services, do what my family does and trust Wayne's. Ryan Brown here from the next round. Wayne's may be headquartered here in Birmingham, but they're serving more than 100,000 families and businesses across SEC country, from Tuscaloosa to Auburn and Nashville to Knoxville. And right now, get started with their EnviroPest service for $60 off when you use the code TNR. Get started by calling 866-WAYNES1, and don't forget the code TNR for $60 off your initial EnviroPest service.
Football season is now in full swing, and you need to be winning with us at lanceslock.com. You get the free lock during the show, but get even more with a subscription at lanceslock.com. Get Lance's full slate of college football games every Saturday, as well as Sunday's NFL, all with the same subscription. No complicated or expensive weekend packages. Get everything. All leagues, every day. Only $90 a month, breaking down to $3 a day. If you want to win this football season, jump on your phone, tablet, or computer right now and go to lanceslock.com and get on board with us.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
LTD&B, Rockstar, and Forrester back with you today, presented by our friends at Bud Light from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studio High atop the Blue Lake Center today. It looks like Aaron Boone's going to get another year with the New York Yankees. Does that surprise you?
A little bit, because you're talking about 4 years with that massive payroll, and they've never been to a World Series. And it's for the Yankees, year in, year out, it's World Series or bust. You haven't been there yet. You've had some heartbreaking losses, so I'm a little surprised.
One of the more successful athletes in college with the name, image, and likeness has been Montana Faust, the pitcher for Alabama softball. She's running for homecoming queen in Tuscaloosa, being built as the great Montana Faust name, image, and likeness, fan favorite, very popular on campus, going against the quote-unquote machine of the sorority fraternity voting monster over there. We'll see how Montana Faust does in the homecoming queen vote as that comes up over in Tuscaloosa. She's got a big year coming up for Alabama softball as they're starting to play through their fall schedule and fall practices right now. Good luck to everyone at every campus running for those courts this week as we get closer to the halfway point of the college football season. Want to remind you that also that good weather is going to hang around for a while. Why not get the perfect backyard with Backyard Adventures, the playground that your kids will be talking about with their friends at school, and maybe the rest of the kids in the neighborhood will be coming to your house to play for the next 2, 5, 7, 10 years. Backyard Adventure, built to last with great quality, 100% cedar, and a lifetime warranty. Think about that. You make a purchase, you get a lifetime warranty. Compare what you get with Backyard Adventure to those cheap, thin pieces of faux wood that you would get at some of these other stores. Backyard Adventures, I had one when my kids were smaller, all the way until they were teenagers. Played in the upper part, the treehouse part, down low in the little house, did the slides and the swings, even at my age with my weight. No problem at all. That's how good the quality is. And Backyard Adventures take care. They'll take care of you as a customer from start to finish, from point of sale all the way to when you're done with the set. This includes a maintenance program to help it keep looking brand new year after year. Go to the website right here, backyardalabama.com, backyardalabama.com. You can actually do a 3D designer there. They have some sets that are designed for you. You can design your own, build your own playground with backyardalabama.com, backyardalabama.com, or call them up, 205-408-4FUN. Brown, you had a stat for us about college football.
This is from David Hell, who covers college football for ESPN. There are 5 teams in college football, listen to this now, 5 teams that are allowing less than a point per drive, which is pretty amazing defense, right? A point per drive. 4 of them are a combined 22-0. Georgia, Cincinnati, Iowa, San Diego State. The other one?
Hold on. Let me see if I can guess.
All right, so
you want to take a guess?
5 teams currently allowing less than it's kind of obvious if you think about it. There are 5 teams currently allowing less than a point per drive. 4 of them are 22-0. Georgia, Cincinnati, Iowa, San Diego State. The other one is?
I am going to say Penn State.
I was going to say Penn State.
Incorrect. The Clemson Tigers.
Wow. Oh, you know, that's
it's so
again,
obvious, isn't it?
Yep.
And it's crazy how bad their offense has been.
You know, currently 27th in the AP poll voting. Right behind Auburn is the Clemson Tigers, just outside of the AP top 25 rankings this week. It's time, as we always do at this point in the show, to get the trash with LT. Hit it, Rockstar.
So they put a whole bunch of ice cream and then they put soda in there. I want a root beer float, which means root beer comes first before the float. You get maybe 3 sucks out of it and you're stuck with ice cream and they give you a spoon for that. But I'm not 2.5. I don't want the ice cream. I want to be able to suck it all the way through.
Oh my gosh.
All the way through.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Hey, life comes at you fast. Our friends at Mortgage Right, they are faster. If you're looking to refinance with a multitude of trusted professionals behind them, Mortgage Right, they have got your back. Whether you need a cash-out refi to pay off the debt, make home repairs, or just looking for a lower interest rate, Mortgage Right has the right option for you. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR today to get started. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. Boy, the dog gets blamed for a lot of things, doesn't it?
Always.
Ate homework a lot when I was a kid.
There's a man in Pennsylvania is accused of stabbing his wife and lying to police about what happened, giving 2 different stories after evidence debunked his first story. Now, police noted when they arrived at the home for a report of a stabbing victim on Friday, according to charges filed, they found a woman that had significant bleeding from her left lower abdomen and had a swollen face. David Lawrence, 36, told police that his wife was at a playground trying to break up a fight between a group of boys when she was stabbed. However, police noticed there was no blood trail to be found.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no playground.
Yeah.
As the wife was transported to the hospital, Lawrence took police inside of the apartment so they could speak with him there. While in the apartment, police reported they saw blood in the bedroom, on rags, and on the bedding. Lawrence again said his wife was stabbed at the playground, though she allegedly didn't know she was injured until they were sitting together on the bed. and he attempted to stop the bleeding with the rags and duct tape. However, police reviewed surveillance footage and told Lawrence no one had left or come into the apartment, nor was there a fight at the playground, according to the affidavit.
Damn, you guys aren't going to stop, are you?
And that's when Lawrence changed his story.
Well, let me just tell you.
He said him and his wife were eating food in bed, which is disgusting, by the way.
I agree completely.
Cannot stand it.
Never.
There was a knife on a plate.
Okay.
Lawrence said that's when the dog jumps on the bed, and while he tried to grab the knife, he accidentally stabbed his wife in the gut.
It's such a freak accident.
I was
he
so
had
embarrassed that I
she has
couldn't lift the
bruises on the face too.
Well, Jim, small details.
What kind of dog was it? A boxer?
This is one you don't see every day. Police find live sharks and a Christmas tree in an indoor swimming pool. Inspector Darren Taylor said his team visited the house over the weekend amid reports of a disturbance, but they bit off a little more than they can chew when they discovered something, according to this article, fishy on the property.
That's well written, Roxanne.
My initial, I've not seen this story. My initial thought is under the Christmas tree is a lot of cocaine wrapped in waterproof bags, and the sharks are protecting it.
We've seen that before with the
Alligators. Yep.
Now, they went on to say, quote, team attended a premises over the weekend only to discover 8-foot swimming pool in the front room. In the swimming pool, apart from water, were small sharks swimming around an artificial Christmas tree, which was in the middle. Quote, I kid you not. Now, Inspector Taylor's officers, unable to snap a photo, I don't believe it unless to see it, though.
Well, I was unable to.
Yeah, I'd like to see this picture.
Now, I told the newspaper he heard about the strange find during a team meeting when one of his officers told him, when you think you've seen everything.
Yeah, that's right. Just when you think. I'm getting too old for
this.
this.
They said 8-foot swimming pool. Inside the swimming pool, small sharks with artificial Christmas tree.
Just the pool inside would be weird to see.
Hey, you don't see many indoor pools, but I'm with Rockstar. Everybody today, their first reaction when they see something crazy is what? You pull out the phone and you take a photo.
Yeah, especially if it's in a newspaper, if it's a newspaper story.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever seen shark in pool was in 2 Bond movies. I think, I could be wrong here, Thunderball and Spy Who Loves Me? Or
Spy Who Loved Me. Love Ed.
I love it.
That's Dunaway. He's the Bond guy.
Are you still on one?
It was not in the first 2.
You guys will give me that we're at a different point in society where words obviously matter.
Correct.
To a lot of people.
Yeah.
Teachers are not allowed to use the terms good or bad to describe student behavior at school now.
Interesting.
This one across the pond. Sure, it'll be here sooner.
No, I mean
later.
that we even when I was in school, they just did a plus or a minus when it came to what was your attitude in class. Or
Right,
whatever.
right.
They couldn't give you a letter grade on that. They couldn't give you an A, B, C.
Well, we used to
D, or
get
F.
conduct grade like S.
Yeah, satisfactory.
Satisfactory.
Yeah,
that
whatever.
eventually turned into that. It was plus, minus, and it went
They do
satisfactory,
it.
not
Yep.
satisfactory.
Okay.
Now, to take, quote, the emotional heat out of managing discipline, a school has banned teachers from using the terms good and bad to describe student behavior. Instead, teachers at the Lowenboro Amherst School, this is a private school, for children aged 4 to 18 are asked to classify behavior as skillful or unskillful.
That'd be
That's
just as
worse.
insulting if I was
It really is.
unskillful.
Yeah, you're an unskillful kid.
Yeah. You know what skill you don't have is behaving.
I'd rather be a
Just give me I'm a
skillful,
bad kid.
skillful kid with a bad attitude.
Yeah, I've still got potential. No, I've still got potential. Like me being a good or bad student, that's on me.
That's right.
I've got skills, though, that I can be a good student one day. If you tell me that I'm unskilled, I've got no hope.
And listen, I learned later on that Nancy Sue was going to like the fact that I was a go-getter, a skillful guy with a bad attitude. She was going to like the bad boy in me.
Well, Dr.
But I could still get things done, man. I could get a job. I could make money, have a career.
Dr. Julian Murphy, the school's headmaster, came up with the idea, which he described as, quote, designed to take the emotional heat out of language by avoiding the use of emotional words. Quote, while I don't want teachers to be soft, I also don't want them to be shouting and make pupils feel guilty. Even when you're an adult, I believe it's human psychology. If people make you feel guilty, you get angry, and then you're more likely to play the blame game and not work out as well. That's when things start to spiral out of control.
But I'm telling you, the words they chose, I don't disagree with that, but the words they chose are the wrong words.
I agree. Well, it's just stupid that you're going to take. You're not. taking away the fact that you criticize the behavior. We just got to use different words, good and bad.
Yeah, when do we get to the point where we're not going to have grades anymore?
Yeah, you just exchange words. You haven't fixed anything.
Yeah, I mean, skillful and unskillful is worse than good or bad behavior. I'd rather be bad behavior than unskillful.
Okay, I've got some actual backhanded compliments people receive. First one, I want to hook up with you. Wait, I want to hook you up with someone I know.
It's very different, Lance. It's very different.
Yeah.
I want to hook you up with someone I know. I can't stand her, but she would be perfect for you.
She's an awful human, but
she's unskillful.
Yeah.
Here's another one. You have the potential to be attractive.
If you would just try.
Yeah.
Not to be skillful, but to be attractive.
Have you seen a shower, maybe?
Here's another backhanded compliment. These are ones people actually received. You're the friend that no one wants but will eventually need.
That one.
I don't know how to take it either way.
How about this one? There is no way you're in your 30s. You still have acne. And the final backhanded compliment. You've lived a good life, but at your age, if you get sick, don't try and fight it.
Yeah, well, nobody says that.
And finally, I've got crazy ideas for you guys. Reality show where the richest people in the world go into a Hunger Games style battle and are allowed to use their wealth however they see fit to defeat the other contestants.
Ooh, so you can put out a hit on somebody or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like the easiest way.
You got Bezos out there?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That is fascinating.
Star Wars at that point.
How do you guys feel about this now that we're about to be paying parents? Colleges should offer the first year as a free trial.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I have to cancel or I get charged for the tuition.
Yeah. Might not work out.
Yeah, 7 weeks free.
Another crazy idea. All pictures that are photoshopped have to be marked as such.
I think you can tell usually.
Well, but I was watching the Chargers-Browns game this weekend, and they teased on 60 Minutes. They were looking into the guy that started doing the Tom Cruise deep fakes.
Oh, it's insane.
And, I mean, those...
Was that the one I saw at the ball game?
No, that is true. I debunked it, but no, it is true. That was Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise got a bit of a fat face. I'll pull the picture up.
Yeah, but no, I mean, they were doing a whole story on these deepfake things, and some of the footage they were showing, you cannot tell it's not really Tom Cruise.
And that's the crazy thing is when does it get to a point where technology is so that, somebody commits a crime.
I think we're there.
They put your face on it.
I know, it's a
you
great
don't
movie,
have an alibi.
Great movie plot.
Yeah.
It would have been unbelievable years ago, but now it's perfectly believable. Now, I didn't stick around and watch the story, but they teased it during the Chargers game.
I don't like their final crazy idea.
Tom Cruise has packed it on.
That's really Tom?
Is he playing a role, you think, Rockstar, where he's had to gain some weight?
I don't know. People are suspecting he got filler.
Well, for Collateral, Michael Mann film with Jamie Foxx, he had to put weight on and gray his hair, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not like that.
Now, I bet he's playing a role because that guy, I think, takes really good care of himself.
Yeah, I think so, too. I agree with Brown.
Final crazy idea. I don't like this one, though. Install a basketball hoop in the outfield of a baseball field. If the batter hits the baseball through the hoop, team automatically wins the game.
Oh, I love that idea.
Well, it used to be...
the mellow yellow at Rickwood Field?
Yeah, somebody would get... you got cash or if you hit the bull, you used to get a steak in Bull Durham. There's always been little things like that. We had Little League in Alabaster. We had those wooden signs people would buy for advertisement. Was what we had on our fences out there, and they would be strapped to the fence. And we had one sign that you got Dairy Queen.
The parents in the puddle, did y'all have to whittle the sign?
Yeah. But it was a Dairy Queen sign. If you hit the Dairy Queen sign, you got Dairy Queen. You got free something from Dairy Queen. It was awesome.
You just missed a home run, too.
One of the first times I went to Turner Field, they had that big Coke bottle, and supposedly if somebody hit it, somebody got $1 million. And it was way out there.
Yep.
And I was with a guy, and he goes... And somebody was telling that story. You get somebody in the crowd gets $1 million, and he goes, "Are you kidding me? Satchmo couldn't hit that."
Yeah.
I said, "Satchmo? Isn't that the guy that plays the horn?"
I don't know who Satchmo is.
I said, "Who is Satchmo?" Oh, Sasquatch. I meant Sasquatch.
A weird reference.
That is Trash Today with LT, brought to you by Mortgage Right.
Yeah, make sure you make the call to our friends at Mortgage Right if you're in the home buying process. It's the American dream to buy that home, and Mortgage Right wants to make that dream a reality. With branches across the country, Mortgage Right has all the resources of a nationwide organization while maintaining the charm of a local lender. Mortgage Right makes home buying simple. If you're looking for a quick, caring mortgage experience, Mortgage Right is your go-to lender. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR today to get started.
Louis Armstrong, by the way, was Satchmo. That was his nickname.
Dan Wetzel halfway point storylines, part of the conversation as we roll on. And Todd Fuhrman coming up at the top of the hour. This hour of the show being brought to you by Champy's World Famous Chicken, those great tamales, chicken on a stick, the great fried chicken plates with the unbelievable batter that'll make your mouth water after the very first bite. All the drinks you need as well, the perfect sides. It's all right there. Champy'sChicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Check it out.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
There's not a better place to watch the big games with a great atmosphere than right there at Walk-On's, Highway 280 and 119, and coming soon near the Hoover Met. The Walk-On's happy hour is 2 to 6, Monday through Friday. $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. You can download the Walk-On's mobile app for an easy take-home experience for the family. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, prepared fresh from scratch. It's game day with a taste of Louisiana at Walk-On's.
Suffering from an old sports injury? Or tweak a joint being a weekend warrior? Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics may be able to reduce or eliminate your knee, hip, or shoulder pain, increase your mobility, and get you back in the game. From pediatrics to geriatrics, appointments are available at 9 convenient locations affiliated with Brookwood Baptist Health. Call Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics at 855-219-6200 or visit precisionsportsortho.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
Take a second to listen to me. Do you have problems sleeping? Is your energy down? Your workouts not the same? Is your libido down? Your problem could be as simple as low testosterone. Whatever the challenge, the Alabama Men's Clinic has a solution. You can come in, get a medical consultation and blood work. If medically advised and you start your low T treatments that day in the office, your visit is free. Set up that appointment by calling 205-598-7000 or go to the website alabamamensclinic.com. Another side effect could be depression, and most men wait a year or longer before ever getting tested. The goal line to better sleep, more energy, a rekindled love life, and more may be as simple as getting your low T checkup at Alabama Men's Clinic. Located in Birmingham to serve you. The number again, 205-598-7000 or one click at alabamamensclinic.com. That's alabamamensclinic.com.
Some things just stand the test of time. Your old truck, an aged bourbon, the memory of your first girlfriend, and a classic pair of Red Wing boots. Fall is upon us, and Red Wing boots are the ones every guy must have. Whether you're on the job site, working in the yard, exploring the trail, or heading out for the evening, Red Wing shoes will have you covered. Certified fit specialists will make sure you get the most comfortable boots with convenient locations in Pelham next to Publix and the new Trussville location between Metro Diner and Taco Mama. Red Wing boots, a classic you can enjoy every day.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Back with you on the next round. Injuries around the NFL. We told you to start the show. Tom Brady's thumb taped yesterday, sore, but will play tomorrow night. Buccaneers and Eagles up in Philly. Pittsburgh loses Juju Smith-Schuster for the rest of the year. He is done. Out 4 months at least, and then rehab begins. So that's a big injury. On the college ranks, JT Daniels on a pitch count hasn't done a lot, says Kirby Smart. What do you do if you're Georgia in this quarterback situation right now?
Well, JT Daniels is the more talented quarterback. I understand that Stetson Bennett's playing well, but you go back last year against Kentucky, he was awful. I mean, they still dominated defensively, didn't allow a touchdown, and ended up winning that game going away. But JT Daniels is the better quarterback, and he was your starter to begin the season. So I think when he's 100% healthy, you got to go back to him.
I think probably your only losable remaining game after this one. He's clearly not going to play in this one. I mean, if he's on limited that much, it's going to be Stetson Bennett.
Well, that's what Kirby's saying.
Yeah.
He's not ruled out, but that's
Right,
what Kirby.
yeah.
He's been dressed at every one of these games.
You get a bye, and then it's the cocktail party. And really, I mean, if you look at it realistically, that's your only losable game left if you're Kentucky. So if you're going to make a change.
If you're Georgia.
I mean, if you're Georgia, I'm sorry. If you're going to make a change, do you make it there? Or do you have him just in case it starts to go bad? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the problem to me, LT, is that Stetson Bennett and the offense is such a groove right now, and you're playing to your defense. Do you even make the switch back? Everyone seems to agree with you. They think they will bring JT back when he's 100% healthy. That's a Precision Sports injury report update.
Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, they may be able to reduce or end the pain from your old sports or weekend warrior injuries. Call them today, 14 total providers, 855-219-6200, or visit precisionsportsortho.com. Like Brown said, though, JT Daniels, once you get to a playoff, once you get to a one-game situation against an Alabama, once you play in Ohio State and Oklahoma, I think you're going to need more than Stetson. He hasn't been bad at all. He's got a lot better.
He's been throwing the ball really well, has had good – the offensive line at Auburn gave him unbelievable throwing lanes and a lot of great protection. So anybody with that kind of throwing lanes, receivers open, and that kind of protection could quarterback that team. I tend to agree with you, but JT Daniels is anything but a slam dunk. I mean, if you go back to that Clemson game, he was not fantastic.
He was not.
Yeah.
He wasn't. I just, also, if you want to do this with Stetson Bennett, he was kind of doing this last year until he ran up against Alabama. And then he was really average, and that's when everybody was clamoring to see JT Daniels, who finished up the year, last 4 games.
Greg from Pell City, and hold up just a damn second. Miss Andrea and I will eat our popcorn and drink our wine while watching a movie in bed. Y'all don't even do that?
Do not. No food in bed, period.
Food in bed.
I cannot stand, I am adamant about when we're at the beach of trying to prevent 1 grain of sand getting into the bed.
Yep.
So no kids can jump on the bed, get in the bed, any of that.
Oh, sand's the worst in bed, but yeah, I mean.
Crumbs are horrible. If you just get one little piece of popcorn down in there.
Yeah, Greg, if you're able to balance that out without dropping any, because what I notice is I'll do a bag of popcorn every couple of weeks, and then I'll go back the next time I sit on that particular part of the couch, and I'll notice there's a piece or 2 of popcorn that has fallen.
Yeah.
I don't know how you don't get in the bed.
Popcorn's impossible not to drop.
Yeah, because unless you go 1 piece at a time in your mouth.
Yeah.
That's just not the way to eat popcorn.
No, it isn't. I don't want to go 1 piece at a time. I need at least 2 or 3.
You got to shovel it.
Yeah. And then at that point, 1 is getting away at some point. The best receiver in the world would even drop. Jerry Rice, happy birthday, Jerry Rice today, would drop popcorn.
It's amazing to think people, I guess there's still people that do this, would smoke in bed. Like the first thing they would do before they go to bed is smoke a cigarette. First thing they would do when they get up is smoke a cigarette.
Or the first thing they would do after certain activities in the movies is smoke in bed. I don't know if that was legit, but they used to do that. And I'm with you. I have no ashes all over your bed.
Yeah. But North Dallas 40, when Nick Nolte, right? When Nick Nolte wakes up, he throws his legs over to the side of the bed and he lights a cigarette and he sits there and he's all humped over and just.
How many wide receivers do you think smoke in the NFL right now? I mean, cigarettes.
Important clarification there.
And Nick Nolte was banged up in that one, wasn't he?
Greg eats his popcorn, drinks his wine in bed, but he'll also give you a free inspection on your roof right now. Our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing, Greg from Pell City. A great opportunity right now. This time of year is perfect to get your roof checked. And we know how important that is to protecting your house. And Greg from Pell City will come out, give you a free no-cost inspection. The phone number, 542-3531. 542-3531. Now, I know Greg. Everybody in the show knows Greg. We've been dealing with him for years. Really upstanding guy, but don't take our word for it. Take the Better Business Bureau, A+ rating. Take the insurance companies who absolutely love and trust these guys. They give you a great warranty, and they have been locally owned for 20-plus years. But there's no obligation to this free no-cost inspection, so really it's a no-brainer. If you have any doubt at all about the quality of your roof, a bad spot in your roof that could cause thousands of dollars of damage to your home, permanent damage, get that roof checked out today. A free no-cost inspection by calling Greg from Pell City, 205-542-3531, or go to Greg from Pell City on Facebook at Storm Restoration Roofing. DJ Dell, little attitude in Tuscaloosa this week before they go to Starkville. Here is the Alabama D lineman.
It's going to make a huge statement. I feel like it should. I feel like a lot of guys, it should have opened their eyes, from that game. And I feel like now we have a point to prove because, everybody wants to beat us and everybody probably feel like they can beat us now because of what we put on film and, how we played.
I mean, a lot of people would say Alabama showed. There are people, I shouldn't say a lot of people. There are people that would say Alabama showed you Saturday night they're not a championship level team playing the way they played against Texas A&M. I don't believe that personally. But I am willing to say if they don't come out and exert their will and beat Mississippi State rather soundly, I'm not sure this is a championship team.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. And I don't know if they will or won't. We'll see Saturday night. They went from a 21-point to a 17-point favorite. If they do, they're going to be at least 17-point favorites in every game down the stretch, including at Auburn. And I think what Nick Saban's got to battle now is getting the team back up. I don't know if you necessarily have to do that coming off a loss, but every media person that I've heard, and this is like 7 or 8 different people from TV to radio, is saying Alabama's going to run the table and play Georgia. So it's like, okay, they lost, but again, the rat poison comes back out. You guys are still going to do what Alabama does. They're going to run the table, and it's going to be a one-game situation to go to a college football playoff. So the mentality is already, well, this season is already over for Alabama. They've got one loss. They're 11-1, and they're playing in the SEC championship game. And based on the team we saw Saturday night, I don't know if you can have that mentality. I mean, I was one of the ones that said it. You said it.
Yep.
I don't know if you believe it. I think Alabama is going to run the table, but there are losable games.
The one thing I can't get past is the way they looked the final 3 quarters at Florida and the way they looked in this game defensively, and that will haunt you no matter how they look against Mississippi State and everyone else into the playoffs until it's all said and done. That memory of them being so disorganized on defense will always be in the back of your mind. I don't think as an Alabama fan with this team the rest of the year do you go into a game not worried that the defense is going to have
I agree completely.
Blown coverages, confusion, and all that. And that's a tough way to live as a fan when you're used to watching what Alabama has been in recent years.
Yeah, and I would say the good news is you're not going to play any elite quarterbacks. You're going to play some good quarterbacks. Will Rogers, you're going to play K.J. Jefferson, who's getting better. Hendon Hooker's played well.
Yeah.
But Matt Calzada is not like he's an elite quarterback.
No, he was the worst completion percentage in the conference until he had his Steven Garcia game Saturday night.
Would you guys give me that Ole Miss could still be the best team Alabama's played until this point?
Absolutely.
Over Florida and Texas
No,
A&M?
I think they are. Yeah, I agree with you.
Well, the reason I bring this up, you saw Alabama dusted Ole Miss at home. And I mentioned this to Matt Wyatt. It's hard to believe in 2 true road games, Alabama's been outscored.
I know.
So there could be something to this, and they've got another one coming up in Starkville this weekend.
Yeah, a big game in Starkville, 6 o'clock this weekend for the Crimson Tide. We'll ask Fuhrman about that game coming up and some funny remarks rolling in on Twitter. We'll get back to that at Next Round Live, the show being brought to you in part by the folks at Standifer Insurance Agency.
Listen, you got to have insurance. May as well be getting the best coverages for the lowest price you can. Get an insurance checkup today. Have your coverages and what you pay each month. Call the Standifer Insurance Agency now. 664-3200. See if they can save for you as they have done for me. 664-3200 or online, StandiferinsuranceGroup.com.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Banking is not just about your money. It's about you. It's about getting help with what you need when you need it. Brian Brown here for the next round. AmFirst was founded for members like you, and they've been putting those members first since 1936. Putting you first means service that grows and changes with the times to serve you better. Now every bank has their own app, but that's just it. It's theirs, not yours. The AmFirst app was made for you, so it's easy to pay bills, deposit checks, or transfer money to friends and family from anywhere. It's even customizable, which means you can personalize your dashboard, create usage alerts, and redeem points for rewards that will make you feel like the #1 priority you are. And you can do it all on your own time. So what are you waiting for? Get the app made for you from AmFirst. Visit any AmFirst location or amfirst.org today. America's first federal credit union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and our entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app. Hey, if you're looking for a local agent to handle all of your insurance needs, you need to call my good friend James Anthony at the James Anthony Agency, 205-985-7717. Hoover, Birmingham, Northport, and Tuscaloosa has been in business over 20 years. The James Anthony Agency.
Cool weather is approaching, and now is the time to get your heating system checked out. Excalibur Services excels in all residential heating, cooling, or electrical problems or upgrades you may have in your home. Owned by a Marine veteran, Excalibur uses highly trained HVAC and electrical service experts to ensure the job is done correctly and in a timely manner. If you're looking for a company you can trust to do it right, call Excalibur today at 205-718-8688 or ExcaliburService.com. Excalibur Services, Alabama license number 15214.
Anheuser-Busch wants every experience for you around beer to be a good one. And getting home safely is always a priority. So encourage friends to decide to ride, whether it's by being the designated driver, calling an Uber, or taking public transit. You cannot drive drunk if you don't drive there. This message is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Birmingham Budweiser, and the Next Round. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. Drunk driving prevention is a priority at Anheuser-Busch. You can't drive drunk if you don't drive there. Encourage friends to join in the pledge to decide to ride on DecideToRide.com. Brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Birmingham Budweiser, and the Next Round. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
There's not a better place to watch the big games with a great atmosphere than right there at Walk-Ons, Highway 280 and 119, and coming soon near the Hoover Met. The Walk-Ons happy hour is 2 to 6, Monday through Friday. $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. You can download the Walk-Ons mobile app for an easy take-home experience for the family. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, prepared fresh from scratch. It's game day with a taste of Louisiana at Walk-Ons.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We were talking about eating in bed and drinking in bed. Drinking not as bad as eating, but eating in bed because of the crumbs and such. Kellen makes a great point. Isn't Greg from Pell City the man with 10, the listener and viewer with 10 kids?
Mm-hmm.
So why are you guys questioning anything he does in the bedroom? He obviously knows what he's doing.
He does know his way around there.
Great point.
He does know his way around the bedroom there.
Great point.
And on a roof as well.
Yes.
Part of our show this hour being brought to you by the great folks with Alabama Power.
And you depend on Alabama Power to keep the lights on and keep you informed. Now they're rolling out new tools to help keep you up to date, especially during storms. Get real-time updates on your phone or computer for free. Get personalized updates about when your power will be restored. Sign up by texting Enroll to 272-688. That's Enroll to 272-688. Using a cell phone registered to your Alabama Power account or visit alabamapower.com/alerts.
All right. Todd Fuhrman is standing by out in the desert. Bet the Board podcast, Outkick, and a lot more. Todd, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well this morning, gentlemen. How are you boys doing?
Awesome. Wonderful. I want to talk to you about college football first before we get to the National Football League. And I want to start with a game before we get to the weekend coming up Friday night, a little California and Oregon. Oregon sort of sleepy, out of mind right now at number 9 in the country. This Justin Wilcox experience not going exactly the way I thought at Cal. Anything on the guys from Berkeley scaring the Oregon Ducks Friday night?
I actually think Cal gets Oregon in a perfect spot. You mentioned Cal kind of underachieving so far to start this season, but the one thing we've seen from Justin Wilcox, with extra time to prepare, especially when he's thrust into the underdog role, Cal has really flourished. Over the last 3 seasons, they've only been a dog 10 times. They've gone 8-2 against the number in that span, and they've won 4 of those games outright. Keep in mind with this Oregon team, it's life without C.J. Verdell, so Mario Cristobal doesn't have the depth in the backfield. And Oregon will also be without Kevon Thibodeau for the first half by virtue of a targeting penalty that came in that loss against Stanford. So when you're looking at Cal, I think they can be in this one from start to finish. I actually like the Golden Bears more in the first half, plus 7.5. I don't think the 14 will last in the market up until Friday night's kickoff.
I think one of the big surprises, obviously, Michigan State undefeated top 10 team now. Now they go to Bloomington, a team that is really disappointed. The number's 4.5. To me, I've gotten stubborn on Michigan State, and I've bet against them. I'm getting off that right now. So this will be the game they obviously lose, Fuhrman. But these numbers just aren't big enough, are they not?
You know, it's been interesting. When you have a team that kind of bursts onto the scene like Michigan State has done, odds makers oftentimes find themselves playing catch-up because they are stubborn in terms of not wanting to overhaul power numbers and make comprehensive adjustments. But when you've looked at Michigan State, you've seen them take money against last weekend against Rutgers, but they find 4 touchdowns of 60-plus yards in that dominant win before they were able to take the air out of the ball in the second half. You look at the game against Nebraska where they didn't pick up a single first down in the second half, but still find a way to escape with a win, albeit not a cover. I had this game circled a few weeks ago, but that was before Indiana was going to be potentially without the services of Michael Penix, which changes the game plan. You look at the average depth of target that Jack Tuttle put forth last year in the bowl game and the final regular season game, and it's much more of a dink and dunk, methodical type offense. That's part of the reason you've seen Michigan State's number leak out here. I'm actually on board with the move for the under in this game. I know it was as high as 51.5, now down to 49 in a lot of spots. I can see going under first half and full game. This Indiana secondary should be the healthiest it's been over the last couple weeks as well.
Todd Fuhrman is on the Pepsi hotline, at Todd Fuhrman on Twitter. BetTheBoardPodcast.com is where you find their great podcast all the time, and you'll see them on Outkick as well, at Todd Fuhrman on Twitter. Again, on the Pepsi hotline. You know, Fuhrman, here in the Deep South, we love our dominating defense, right? You know that about SEC fans, which is where you find the Ole Miss-Tennessee game here in the Deep South. With a total, Fuhrman, a total of 82. I don't know that I've ever seen that in the Southeastern Conference. And how do you feel about it?
Well, I mean, a total of 82 wouldn't have been enough to keep Arkansas and Ole Miss under the total last weekend. That was actually a game hovering in the mid-60s, and I thought the matchup was going to keep it relatively tight to the vest, all things considered. I guess when Ole Miss hits multiple plays of 50-plus yards, it's tough for a game to stay under, even though it was only 7-0 after the first quarter. This total for me is actually a shade low. I made the number 84.5, but at the same time, it doesn't offer a whole lot of value because all it takes is one 5-minute drive with a missed field goal or a turnover, and you're chasing uphill from start to finish. But unlike Ole Miss's game against Alabama, where the Crimson Tide knew they could take the air out of the ball, run it with reckless abandon, and be just fine, I'm not sure either of these defenses will hold up under that particular test. Tennessee dealing with some concerns running back-wise as far as injuries are. And when you look at the way that the Vols have gone out there and played at an electric tempo, I think they'll put some pressure on an Ole Miss defensive line that's a little bit light in the trenches. This is also the Lane Kiffin homecoming game, so even if Ole Miss is able to find some breathing room, I think Lane will keep his foot on the accelerator. You couldn't get me to go under the total in this game, but I just don't think there's a whole lot of wiggle room to go over. And as this number trends down, I might be more inclined to make a case for Ole Miss if it got down to 2.5, but probably a game that I think is worth watching, even if there isn't a compelling wagering element.
Missouri, 0-6 against the number. A&M coming off that big win against Alabama. A&M only -9 here, but it looks like the money's split.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of an appetite for the situational spot more than anything else to back Missouri, but I've made this mistake before, LT. The best thing that can cure a hangover and a flat spot is a ground game that all Texas A&M would have to do is roll out 2 offensive linemen, and I think they'd be able to run for 400 yards against this Missouri defense. Eli Drinkwitz right now has no defense to speak of, and I think it's a major concern here. I worry about Missouri and what they're able to do from an offensive side. The situation will keep me off the favorite here, but even I don't have the stomach to go to the window with a Missouri side that just has not really been able to hold up defensively at all, and I have them rated one of the bottom 3 defenses in all the Power 5.
What do you make of Alabama now with the defensive concerns, and what do you think Vegas thinks of Alabama's chances to make it into the playoffs and win a national championship?
You know, for me, Alabama's still my number 2 power-rated team behind Georgia at this point in the season. And what's been interesting about this, you saw a little bit of an appetite for Alabama when this number was at 16.5. I think a value play as much as anything else. Mississippi State has impressed me. I know the loss against LSU at home probably will look worse as the season goes on, but there was nothing fraudulent with their performance in College Station where they won outright as a 7.5 point dog. I just wonder if Mike Leach can be creative enough offensively, or if Alabama's defensive backs can squat on some of those short routes and the tunnel screens and take full advantage. What's crazy about the first, season and a half thereabouts that Mike Leach has put together in Starkville, you figured this team was going to take on their head coach's DNA, but it's been the defense that's carried the team more so than the offense. And while it's scary to do, given some of the shortcomings we've seen from Alabama defensively, I actually like this game under the total a bit. I think you're going to get Alabama fully engaged on both lines of scrimmage.
You know more than I do, but I think Brown texted you the other day to see what a Georgia-Alabama line would be. I said on the air, I still think Alabama would be a slight favorite just based on brand and history. You think it would be Georgia, though, right?
Yeah, I would make Georgia a short favorite now. I wouldn't go as far as a field goal. I think when you look at this Georgia defense, it's the real deal. And I really wonder with Alabama and a young quarterback, and of course things can change over the course of the season, and what I would define as, skill position talents that have underwhelmed so far. I just don't know if Alabama would move the ball consistently enough. Now, the one thing you'd have to factor in there, that number would be with JT Daniels as their starter. With Stetson Bennett, I would make it much closer to a pick 'em, maybe Georgia minus $1.20 on the money line. But I do think Daniels gives them a much more dynamic passing attack, which is the kind of thing you'll need against Alabama, despite Alabama struggling against some of the ground attacks they faced last week against A&M and, of course, earlier this year against the Florida Gators.
Todd Fuhrman with us from the desert. At Todd Fuhrman on Twitter, bettheboardpodcast.com. He's on the Pepsi hotline. You also see him on Outkick. Though both Auburn and Arkansas are 4-2, there are different perceptions about their 4-2s, which is why some are surprised Arkansas is only about a field goal favorite Saturday up in Fayetteville.
Right when we jumped on the air, guys, Arkansas took a wave of money. This number's now up in that 4.5, 5 range. And as it continues to leak out, I'm more inclined to try and make a case for Auburn, because the one thing, when you look at this Arkansas defense, they can be beaten up a little bit along that defensive line. If Barry Odom wants to play, 3 down linemen, I think Auburn has the ground game, as long as Brian Harsin and company stay committed, that can actually have some success. At the same time, you do worry about Bo Nix making that timely mistake, potentially throwing into the teeth of a 6 defensive back situation out there. Auburn, as far as their receiving core, you guys know all too well. Still more questions than answers, I think, at this point in the season. The one concern I have for Arkansas, you wonder what this team has left in the tank. I mean, they've gone through an absolutely grueling stretch of late, and you try and figure out how gutted they were in the wake of missing that 2-point conversion against Ole Miss. So for me, it's Auburn or pass. The one reason I haven't bet this game, though, yet, guys, is because the Arkansas fan base, players and coaches have talked about how they felt slighted about the errant call on the Bo Nix spike that led to a 2-point win for Auburn last year. So that's kind of kept me off the game, at least for now.
A wave of money sounds so much fun. A cashnami, if you will, flowing in on Arkansas. Hey, I'm interested about Cincinnati because we love Cinderellas during the NCAA tournament. We seem to cheer against them in college football. Gus Malzahn doesn't have his quarterback, but it's still crazy Gus Malzahn and UCF's talent. That game's coming up Saturday morning. What do you make of Cincy?
For me, it's Cincy or pass here, and I actually like the game under the total a little bit. I just don't know where UCF goes for offense, and when you struggle to move the football against the defensive juggernaut that is the East Carolina Pirates, that is a major red flag for me, and I think the drop-off we've seen from Dylan Gabriel to his backup is a lot more pronounced than originally forecasted. So I think Cincinnati needs style points, and you saw that on Friday night, a game where they were lethargic in the first half, up 2 touchdowns, and then they put their foot on the accelerator. For those journalists and such that will vote in polls that won't watch a whole lot of Cincinnati football, I like the favorite here, and I also like the game under the total. I think UCF hard-pressed to get past 14 points.
I don't know if you've seen this story, Fuhrman, breaking out of Norman, Oklahoma, but Lincoln Riley has canceled all media availability until after the game Saturday. And it's apparently in response to a student reporter climbing on top of a public building and watching practice with binoculars to see who was starting quarterback. And he saw that Caleb Williams was taking the first team snaps. You Vegas guys have to love that kind of thing.
Oh, I love the commitment from fan bases and deranged reporters and everybody else that wants to get out there and try and find a compelling edge. I think the reality of it, Lincoln was going to do anything he could to make TCU prepare for 2 quarterbacks. But you don't have to be an idiot after having watched the game over the weekend to see how the body language is so much different, not only for the starting quarterback in Caleb Williams, but the teammates that really flocked to him. His physical downhill running style gave Oklahoma the dimension that they desperately lack with Spencer Rattler. And Rattler may be the more talented guy. He's definitely the more polished passer at this point in his career. But sometimes it's the intangibles that you have to lean on, especially for a team that has national championship aspirations. And I think Lincoln would be foolish to give the ball back to Rattler, but you also want to try and keep a package in there for both those guys because they do provide different skill sets. And to Rattler's credit, he was out there and can help them convert the 2-pointer when it would have been easy to sulk in the corner. I think Lincoln will make the right move, much like we've seen Josh Heupel do going to Hendon Hooker from Joe Milton.
Hey, you and I have been in the game long enough. We know it's a marathon, and that's why I try to be transparent when I'm good, when I'm bad. I was awful this past Sunday, my worst day in the history of our pick service. I wanted to ask you, because you seem frustrated with a couple of your tweets. I mean, games like the Bengals, games like the Browns, how bad were the books on Sunday?
Oh, the Bengals game, thankfully for me, was a winner only because the one thing I did well on Sunday was waited for a better live line, but it was still ridiculous to try and watch that particular game. The one that hurt me the most was actually the San Francisco 49ers trying to figure out what Kyle Shanahan is doing, electing to punt in plus territory, and their inability to take all drives that went in Arizona and not put them into points. But that was the worst Sunday that the books experienced so far this season. You had a rash of public teams come home to roost, and it was only compounded further by Baltimore's comeback against the Indianapolis Colts. I know the Ravens didn't cover as 7-point favorites, but all of the moneyline parlays, teasers, and such that kicked in definitely didn't have the books in a good spot. It's always one of those weeks in October where you start to see the separations of the haves and have-nots in the National Football League, where the public will ride teams that they perceive to be better on paper. They're able to take full advantage, and it's interesting to see over the next 2 to 3 weeks what kind of adjustments books make, and that's part of the reason that you've actually seen some prices drift out on some of the marquee games, most notably New England, opening as just a 2-point underdog at home with a price that's now out in that 4.5 range.
All right, go follow him on Twitter at Todd Fuhrman. Watch him with Outkick and BetTheBoardPodcast.com. He joins us on the Pepsi Hotline at this time each week, and we thank you for doing that, Fuhrman. All right, Todd's going.
Evaporated.
That was weird.
Yeah, Todd Fuhrman with us there on the Pepsi Hotline. Part of the show today being brought to you by the great folks at Wayne's. Wayne's can keep your backyard perfect for your enjoyment this fall, like getting rid of all the mosquitoes as you grill outside. Mosquitoes can ruin your perfect day. The professionals at Wayne's can protect you, your family, and your pets. What about the lawn, right? You're thinking, well, it's winter, Jim. I don't have to worry about the lawn. Wrong. If you want your lawn to look its best next spring and summer, Wayne's right now can take care of it by giving you some products and getting it winterized, really, getting it ready for the dormant stays. It'll make it look better, the dormant days, to make it look better, healthy, and lush next spring as well. And, of course, Wayne's is the exclusive provider for everything here on the next round. When it comes to residential and commercial termite protection, we use Wayne's. Pest prevention, Wayne's. Mosquito control, Wayne's. Lawn care service, Wayne's. And right now, you can join the Wayne's family, too, by getting $60 off your initial EnviroPest service by using the promo code TNR. If you're part of our family in the chat room, or you're watching or listening to us right now and you're not a Wayne's customer yet, now is the time. Use the promo code TNR and call this number, 866-WAYNES-1. 866-WAYNES and the number 1, and join the Wayne's family today. I was going to get to the Oklahoma student thing in the next segment, but Brown brings it up, and I thought it was a great comment for Fuhrman there, Brown. If you missed that part of the interview, an OU student, newspaper reporter, gets binoculars, goes on and spies practice. Think of the Jacks over in Tuscaloosa, where you could see from the top of the Jacks building over the tall fence that now have tarps on it, and those fences have gotten higher and higher since the Bear Bryant days, right? There's now condominiums in Tuscaloosa that you've got to sign agreements that you can't even forget, watching practice with binoculars. You can't even be on your deck, your patio, overlooking practice when the team is on the practice field. You sign that into your covenant when you become an owner in that building.
What's next, Sniper?
Do you have a problem? Do you have a problem with what Lincoln Riley's doing here, shutting down practice interviews, media access the rest of the week?
Of course.
Yeah,
How petty.
I think it's
little.
very petty. And look, I mean, just because today Caleb Williams is taking reps with the one doesn't mean tomorrow Spencer Rattler's not that guy.
Yeah.
Lincoln Riley's got a pretty good situation. I think we all agree, based on what we saw Saturday, Caleb Williams will be the guy.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know how he'll do as a starter and for 4 quarters, but to me, he looks like that spark that they needed. But he's still got a pretty good option with Spencer Rattler. Didn't play well, hasn't played well this year. We've seen Spencer Rattler play at a high level, though.
Go ahead.
The reporter did his job. It's his job. He did his job. And Lincoln Riley gets all pissy about it like this?
Well, I think the student newspaper might be a little upset based on liability if he's actually scaling something to take the
I
pictures.
think probably he was safe.
They got quotes from Mike Rattler as I was reading it this morning. Mike says, Spencer missed practice Monday because he was sick, and the coaches knew he wasn't going to be there. He was back Tuesday. That's when they see him taking second-team reps.
Can you scour the portal when you're sick?
Mike says, Mike Spencer's dad, Mike Rattler says, we'll see where we are on January 10th. Hopefully he's quarterbacking in the national championship game, and then we'll see if an NFL team's interested, or if he's coming back to Oklahoma or somewhere else. That's from the dad in that same report. As Reddit College Football pointed out this morning, remember last year, Oklahoma, by Lincoln Riley's doing, actually blurred out windows in dorm rooms on campus that could see the practice facility. So they put a film over your dorm room window, permanent film over your dorm room window where you can't see out and look at the practice field.
Yeah, my rent's going down if you do that.
Absolutely it is, yeah.
So I don't get natural sunlight anymore.
Do we have the kid's name that scaled the pole to get the picture?
I'll see if I can find it.
The only reason I ask is I guarantee if Belichick's still coaching, that kid's got a job, right?
Yeah. That's what he could do after he gets out of college.
Work for his scouting department.
Yeah. All right. So that's the story from Lincoln, part of our show right now, being brought to you by the great folks at Odie's. Is it Wednesday already?
Rockstar? What does that mean?
It's finally Wednesday. Trivia.
Well, we love to talk about our friends at Odie's 5 days a week, but every single Wednesday, we want to remind you to come out, join us for Odie's Team Trivia. It is a ton of fun. We'll get started a little after 8 o'clock. Me, Rockstar Will Haver, get there a little early, enjoy the incredible food. Rodney Davis has been cooking up almost 30 years now, from the award-winning wings, the delicious burgers, my personal favorite, that Diablo sandwich, inside or outside on that great patio. Come by, watch all the college football action all weekend long, but join us tonight, 8 o'clock, Odie's Tavern, Crestline Village.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
All right, guys, I don't know about you, but there is one game I don't ever want to be out of. And that's why I'm glad we have the Alabama Men's Clinic right here in Birmingham. They have treated thousands of Alabama men for ED. There are many different causes like a heart condition, diabetes, a reaction to medication, or simply low testosterone. The Alabama Men's Clinic staff will find the problem, and some of you will be back in the game the day after your first appointment. You can set up that appointment by calling 205-598-7000 or go to the website, alabamamensclinic.com. I know what you're thinking. A lot of guys actually just take a pill, but sometimes that pill doesn't work, or it can give you unwanted side effects. Let the pros come up with your game plan. There's no need to wait. Depression, anxiety, a new connection with that special person in your life. It could be all just one important play away. Call 205-598-7000 or get back in the action at alabamamensclinic.com.
It is the American dream to buy your own home. Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. Mortgage Right wants to make that dream a reality with branches across the country. Mortgage Right has all the resources of a nationwide organization while maintaining the charm of a local lender. Mortgage Right makes home buying simple. If you are looking for a quick and caring mortgage experience, Mortgage Right is your go-to lender. Get started by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR. Mortgage Right, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com.
The seasons have switched to fall, and it's time for you to change your game day wardrobe with our friends at the Pants Store. For the ladies, all the game day fashion, including bodysuits and those booties, plus a wide variety of clear purses that you need for every stadium. For the guys, all the game day accessories, Yeti coolers, Yeti cups, sunglasses, plus your game day wear from Cutter and Buck, Antigua, Taylor and Mick, and the perfect game day hat. It's all at the Pants Store, 5 locations: Crestline, Leeds, Trussville, Tuscaloosa, or Huntsville, and always online at pantsstore.com.
What makes Culver's Butterburger one of America's best-loved burgers? I could go on for hours, but all you really need to know is this. Our fresh, never-frozen beef is made from the highest quality cuts for richness and flavor. We press that beef into a very hot grill after you order, and that's how we get that nice caramelized edge. Then we lightly butter and toast the bun for that extra bit of goodness.
That's what makes it a Culver's Butterburger. Let us craft one for you today. Welcome to Delicious.
At ERA King Real Estate, they're empowered by technology and driven by community. What does that mean? It means you are the reason they have the most extensive training and the most innovative tools in the business. ERA King believes a culture focused on building value in their agents produces big value for their clients and their families. To find your agent, text MOVE to 35260. That's MOVE to 35260. ERA King, working hard to make home buying easy.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and Bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
We'll get to 3 and Out in just a second after I tell you about the great folks at Alabama Men's Clinic. I've been very open with you that when we first started this venture and I went to meet with the folks at Alabama Men's Clinic, I decided to go through the process and get my testosterone check, and ended up being really low testosterone. and what you can find in your life. You don't even know you're having problems sleeping, and you know you've got problems sleeping. You may think it's something else. It's a low T problem. You may be like, man, I'm always tired, fatigue. Is it this? Is it that? It can be simply a low testosterone problem. Your workouts, you're not getting the same workout in or the same run in you used to get, or your libido's down. It can all be problems as simple as just a low testosterone problem. Whatever the challenge, the Alabama Men's Clinic has a solution for you. 205-598-7000, 205-598-7000, or at the website to make an appointment, alabamamensclinic.com, or you can use that website just to learn more, alabamamensclinic.com. You can go by, get a medical consultation and blood work. If medically advised and you start your low T treatments that day in the office, your visit is free. The number again, 205-598-7000, or go to the website, alabamamensclinic.com. Dave in our chat says Georgia will end up pulling at Georgia before this is all said and done.
The problem, Dave, I don't disagree with you. I think at some point Georgia will lose a game. I just don't think it's going to be in the regular season.
Well, I mean, we did not see South Carolina coming the year they lost to South Carolina. So, to be fair,
this does seem like a different Georgia team.
It does feel that way. I don't disagree with you, Lance. Even the 2017 team, which is Kirby's best team, got shellacked at LSU.
Yeah, I would say this, though. If we had like multiple, if Clemson had done well, I guess Georgia wouldn't be undefeated. I was going to say if we had multiple what seemed to be dominant teams, it seems like we've got a lot of B-plus teams at the top right now, and then there's Georgia. If we had other elite teams, we might feel a little differently that Georgia will pull at Georgia.
The conversation was Alabama and Georgia had separated themselves from everyone else, and now it seems like everyone's saying Georgia has separated themselves from everyone else. Big game this weekend. But again, on the flip side of that, if Kentucky wins this thing, they look like a shoe-in to go to Atlanta, regardless of what happens the rest of the way. So it's a huge game, no doubt. 2:30 CBS Athens after the Auburn-Arkansas game, 11 o'clock. Let's do 3 and Out right now. It is brought to you by the great folks at Vulcan Tires.
Hey, anything you need, bumper to bumper, these guys can handle. Make sure you stop by, check them out. 4 great locations. And you can also go online. Go to VulcanTireandAuto.com.
First down.
Okay, since we were talking about it, more starts moving forward, Caleb Williams or Spencer Rattler?
I am going to go Spencer Rattler. We've already seen this happen to him once. He got benched in this game last year. It woke him up, and he finished the year much better. I think the same thing's going to happen. There's a huge gap in being really good in one singular relief appearance and being a good starting quarterback.
Yeah, there's a reason why Spencer Rattler was the quarterback, and I don't think it was just off reputation. And I think you could see it as early as this week, struggling against TCU early, and then bring Spencer Rattler in as relief. And it flips back in the other direction. So I'm going to agree with Brown. I'm going to go Spencer Rattler starts more games.
I'm going to go Caleb here. I think this is going to be a situation where it's going to be one of those amazing things that your Heisman favorite coming into the season doesn't even finish the season healthy at quarterback.
Were you guys watching when he first came in, not to replace Spencer Rattler, but when he came in on that 4th and 1, and they called timeout, Texas did, and then he busted that run up the middle. He could fly. I could not believe how fast he was.
Well, that's what they said, and they brought Rattler back in for the 2-point conversion later in the game, and I was talking to a couple of them, they were like, Rattler's the better passer, and I'm like, not this year. I know that Caleb Williams is known for the legs, but...
Second down.
Okay, more total touchdowns on Saturday. KJ Jefferson against that Auburn defense or Stetson Bennett against that Kentucky defense?
Ooh, good question. Total touchdowns or passing?
Total.
I'll go Jefferson because of his legs. Not that Stetson's slow, but
I'll go Jefferson as well because I think eventually we see JT Daniels in this game this weekend.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to take Jefferson.
I think I would lean Jefferson.
I mean, there's discussion now where, people, as you start filling out, you got to put 3 people on your Heisman ballot, and they're like, man, this KJ Jefferson guy's a guy that I may consider putting as the number 3 person on my 3-person Heisman ballot.
Wait, who said that? Out loud?
No, yeah. I mean, they do straw polls at The Athletic, and there are people that say KJ Jefferson.
I'm high on KJ Jefferson, but he is not even close to one of the top 3 players.
Okay, you got to put 3 people down there. Who do you go?
Well, I would go Bijan Robinson before that, and I still would go Bryce Young, and I would go Matt Corral over that.
Those are 3 good ones.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Kenneth Walker has got a lot of love.
Kenneth Walker would 100% be in front of KJ Jefferson.
Yeah. How many voters are there? 900, and I don't know how many they do on the straw polls they do, but
that's amazing.
You end up spreading that stuff out sometimes.
Third down.
Okay, bigger number on Saturday. Kentucky points or the combination of Kentucky punts and turnovers.
They'll get more points. I mean, 6 punts would be an exceptional amount of punts. And if they turn it over twice, that's 8. I think they'll score more than 8.
Yeah, remember, they're giving up 5.5 a game.
I'm aware of that. Yeah,
Kentucky hasn't scored a offensive touchdown on them in 3 years.
I'm aware they're due.
I think the punts and the turnovers could be 10 when it's all said and done.
Oof,
and
that's a bloodbath in that case.
And I would take the combination of punts and turnovers over the combination of turnovers and punts over the points.
Wow,
what's the final score?
I'd take the points here.
What's the final score
I would take that as a
game?
fun stake bet if you wanted to do it.
I mean, we got a small odds there for me, so that would have to be a 2 to 1-er.
Nah.
But I'm looking at a score of something like 31 to 6, 31 to 7, 31 to 9.
I was going to say 41-7 in your game.
31 to 10.
Like.
Yeah, I think they're going to run them.
Nice.
But I still think they're going to be able to get to 10 or 13 points.
Remember, 31 to 10 doesn't even cover at 22 and a half.
Fourth down.
So, 2 celebrity birthdays today. Paul Pierce is 43. Paul Simon is 79. Better Paul career.
Paul Simon.
Done.
Done easy. Paul Simon
Did
never had...
Simon ever leave an arena in a wheelchair?
Because he hurt his shoulder.
Well, he's still performing at 79, so the chances are still there he could leave the arena in a wheelchair.
Great point, Dunaway.
Pierce is still performing. I don't know if it's at a high level.
I'll go Paul Simon.
Yeah,
I would go Paul Simon, too.
I would go Paul Simon as well. Underrated, never really loved his music.
Little fella, right?
Oh,
He's a little fella. Married to...
Do you think Paul Pierce could post him up?
Was it Edie Brickell?
Oh, was he?
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I would imagine he's been married to a lot of people. Better career, Jerry Jones or Jerry Rice?
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Jones.
Oh, Jerry Rice is the greatest of all time. Yeah. You're just going to go money. You can't just go money on these things.
By the way, both their birthdays today as well, too. So a couple of Jerry's, a couple of Paul's. I thought that one was pretty close.
Yeah, I mean... I guess Jerry Rice has got more championship rings. How many does Jerry Jones have? 3?
I think it's 3-3, isn't it? Is Rice 4 or 3?
He
won the one with Steve Young, right? So I think that makes him 4.
Better career, Marie Osmond or Sacha Baron Cohen?
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
Well, more talented, not even close. But Marie Osmond still, I think, has a residence in Vegas.
Ooh,
both of their birthdays today as well, too. It's a big birthday day.
Big birthday day.
Vulcan Tires brings you the 3 and Out.
Yeah, make sure you stop by one of those locations to get a look at the brake pads, wheel alignment, tires, and more. They can do it bumper to bumper for you and your family. 4 locations and online, VulcanTireandAuto.com.
Hey, and listen, because baseball did such a good job of taking care of themselves yesterday, there is nothing for LT to play tonight in the lock, coming off a couple of winners last night, including Louisiana taking it to Appalachian State. You can get the next winner tomorrow from LT, and then all of his plays at lanceslog.com. They're always brought to you by Jeremy Purvis and the guy over at, and all of his guys over at Iron Mountain Drains and Plumbing and ironmountainworld.com. Listen, they handle everything from drips to new fixtures, but also they can take care of industrial services for you with over 500 people available for your situation and your needs, like plumbers, pipe fitters, millwrights, iron workers, laborers, operators. Whatever you need, Iron Mountain Construction can take care of you. 205-781-1170. 781-1170, or go online to ironmountainworld.com and see what they can do for you, no matter what, whether you're talking plumbing or big-time construction with our friends at ironmountainworld.com. When we come back, more college football, including some of the bigger surprises of this college football season. One guy writes his biggest surprises and disappointments. It's next on the next round.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
I want my lawn to look better than anybody else's on my street. Ryan Brown here for the next round. Here's one problem. I play a lot of golf, but I'm not a greenskeeper. It's why I depend on my friends at Wayne's. And now is the time to make sure your lawn is properly prepared to grow healthy and lush when spring rolls around. Let the lawn professionals at Wayne's set you up for success as your lawn enters dormancy for the winter season. I depend on them for my lawn. You should too. Get Wayne's treating your lawn now so it looks great in the spring. 866-WAYNES-1. That's 866-WAYNES-1.
At AmFirst, you always come first, especially during this summer of freedom. That's why they're offering their very best rates to members right now, so you can hit the road and see it all with an even lower auto loan. And while you're feeling so free, you'll get even more for free from AmFirst, like free gas when you refinance your car, free rewards on checking, and the chance to get more free in giveaways and prizes. AmFirst is making your summer freer than ever because this is your summer, the summer of freedom at AmFirst. For more information, visit them online, amfirst.org/promotions. Available to qualifying members only. Certain restrictions apply. AmFirst is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 403456. Federally insured by the NCUA. No purchase necessary. For complete offer details and rules, call 1-800-633-8431 or visit them online for more information. Go to amfirst.org. Again, go online, amfirst.org. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Let Holly Mack Wilson put you in a new home for the holidays. A new place to have a family Thanksgiving dinner. A new place to put up the Christmas tree and hide the presents. A new place to ring in the new year with friends and family. Holly Mack Wilson, putting a new meaning to home for the holidays. Call Holly Mack Wilson today, 205-901-9446. That's 205-901-9446. Holly Mack Wilson, a Tuscaloosa Keller Williams agent.
Hey, if you're looking for a local agent to handle all of your insurance needs, you need to call my good friend James Anthony at the James Anthony Agency, 205-985-7717. Hoover, Birmingham, Northport, and Tuscaloosa has been in business over 20 years. The James Anthony Agency.
Stay up to date with the Next Round at nextroundlive.com. The latest videos from the show, plus podcasts like the Mystery Fifth Hour, Bama and Bourbon, Last Call, and others from the Double Down Media podcast family. You can start your day with the latest college football stories, plus easy to listen to hour-by-hour downloads of the live show. NextRoundLive.com, a great way to stream the show live or shop in the Next Round store. Make NextRoundLive.com your homepage. That's NextRoundLive.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. One Man in the Toolbox has provided professional handyman services since 1997. Honesty and reliability are qualities that embody every one of their employees. From residential to commercial, One Man in the Toolbox has the background to help you with almost any project. 823-2111. Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
This segment of the show being brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right, a proud sponsor of our show for years and years. They've been with us. Our friends at Mortgage Right can help you with any mortgage.
Yeah, great guys. If you're sick of leasing your life away, Mortgage Right, they've got the cure with locations nationwide. Our friends at Mortgage Right, dedicated to making the home buying process easy, eager to offer tips, tools, and a staff of industry professionals to move you in with confidence. If you're ready to let go of the leasing life and start living life, Mortgage Right can help. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR today to get started. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
Okay, I'm just going to simply ask you the biggest disappointment, team-wise or whatever, in college football through half of the season. 7 different ESPN college football reporters gave their opinion, ESPN.com. You can read the story yourself, nextroundlive.com in the morning rounds this morning. You first, LT. Just if I said disappointment through the first half of the college football season, it is
So many, but I'll go Iowa State just because I thought Iowa State had this outside shot. If Iowa State would have played up to potential, where Oklahoma is right now, Iowa State had every opportunity to go to a college football playoff. We talked about it before the season. If things broke right for this team, and it's almost impossible to imagine years ago seeing Iowa State make a college football playoff. But what you had coming back with Brock Purdy and Breece Hall and that defense, I thought that they would be well prepared. They're now 3-2. That 5-turnover game against Iowa killed them. But Iowa State had every opportunity based on this Big 12 to get there.
And you would agree with Heather Dinich, who says Brock Purdy, Breece Hall, all the experienced receivers back. Iowa State is her biggest disappointment this year. Brown?
I thought there were 2 obvious ones that Lance was going to say one of the 2, if not both of them.
Both start with a W?
Well, no. One was not even Iowa State. I think Clemson is the most obvious answer. I mean, this is a team that everyone thought would compete for the national championship.
Again, they're so far out of mind.
I know.
I can't even think about them as a disappointment.
And that's why they're such a disappointment. They're so far out of mind, not even ranked in the Associated Press, ranked 25th in the coaches.
Yeah, seemed like they were a lock to be in the playoffs. With what we knew of DJ Uiagalelei. I don't even say his name enough now to be smooth with it anymore. They've got 66 ESPN 300 prospects on their roster, and they're 3-2 outside of the top 25. Is it Tom Van Haren?
Tom Van Haren, yeah.
Yeah, Tom Van Haren agrees with you, Brown. It is Clemson.
And, Lance, you could even make a really good case they don't win the ACC. Now, if I told you they didn't win the national championship, you would have been like, okay.
No, if you would have said, hey, bullet to head, you got to pick one team to get to a college football playoff, it would have been Clemson. This is going to be really interesting. Coming off what was again, close win against BC and a backup quarterback, now that they've had the bye week, so they've had a long time to get ready for Syracuse. They go on the road. Syracuse coming off a really disappointing overtime loss to Wake. They thought they had that game in hand. But this Syracuse defense is no good. If Clemson can't get the offense right here, then you start to look at they lose next week at Pittsburgh, and they might lose to Wake if the offense isn't right tomorrow night or Friday night. It's going to be really important to see where they are on Friday.
Yeah. Of the names we've mentioned, I keep a lot of records. I was not bought into Iowa State. I had them 6th. Brown, you had them 10th in the preseason ranking. And LT, you had them 6th.
Okay, we all missed.
When it comes to Clemson,
well, that's what we're buying in if we bet them the top 10.
Iowa State 6 is as good as they've ever been.
Yeah, but I think 6 was the top end of where most people had them. 10 was a good call by you, but obviously they're nowhere close. Clemson, we all had them as a playoff team. Brown was the least bought in, had them 4th. I had them 3rd. One person on the panel picked them to win the national championship.
See over there to your left.
Yeah, the only thing I would say, you guys have been shocked with the way they're playing. But if they do bounce back offensively, they still can run the table. 10-2 winning the ACC gets them to New Year's 6. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I had LSU 12th. And I thought LSU was going to have a bounce back year.
I did too.
And
where did I have them? Like 15?
You had them 17th. Brown had them 21st.
And we were all still wrong.
I think way too much talent. There's no excuse for what is going on now at LSU. And now you've got defections, attrition, and it's going to get worse.
Yeah. We all liked Georgia, obviously, coming in. LT, you had them 4. Brown had them outside. You actually had them 6, Brown. I had them 4. They're the number 1 team in the country right now.
Wrong.
LSU was mentioned by both Chris Lowe and Alex Scarborough. Biggest disappointment for Adelson. I don't know her first name.
Andrea
Adelson. Mac Brown in North Carolina.
No doubt.
Now, we seem to all, most when I say we, most of football seemed to be all bought in on North Carolina to some degree to start the year. For ULT, I'm looking for UNC. You must not have had them too high.
I don't think I did.
Oh, UNC 13. I didn't write North Carolina, but UNC. You had them 13.
13's pretty high.
Brown, you had them at number 8.
I was wrong.
I had them at 16, North Carolina.
And you and Lance were closer.
Yeah. That's been a disappointment. There's no other way you can phrase that.
And this team wasn't going to contend for a national championship, but I thought they would at least be a factor in their conference and win perhaps their division. And I thought this might be one you would say, Lance. Southern Cal's already had to fire a coach, and they're 3-3.
Yeah, and that's what Bonaguru, another writer, says. USC, the biggest disappointment.
I had them at 25. I'll remember that. And I just didn't think they were going to be that good. Now, I thought, with that said, I thought they would be 8-4, and that would get them to 25. And I guess they've still got a chance at being 8-4, but they've gotten completely. And
that's the thing. They're going to blast it.
Stanford, Oregon State this past week against Utah, teams that they traditionally don't lose to. They never lose to Utah at the Coliseum, and they got run out of it.
Their losses are 42-28 to Stanford, 45-27 to Oregon State, and 42-26 to Utah.
I'm going to tell you the biggest swing and miss for us is going to be Iowa, though. Because where did we have Iowa?
Did I even have them ranked?
I had Iowa 21. You had them 18, LT. And I think you left them off. Nope, you had them 17, Brown. It's USC where you blew it, Brown. You had them 12th.
Well,
12th.
I thought this was going to be Clay Helton's year, Jim.
Yeah, a lot of talent there. Those are disappointments. You can see the people that have been impressive, a lot of Wake Forest, some Michigan love there, all at ESPN.com. And the stories at the halfway point. Every website seems to have that at this point of the season. Week 7 coming up. Last night, Louisiana got a big win in the Sun Belt. No football tonight. Get a little Navy-Memphis. Disappointing start for Memphis and Navy. Both those programs had good recent history, but neither one of them close to what they have been. And then South Alabama back in action, trying to keep a pretty good season going for Kane Womack. Georgia Southern in Mobile tomorrow night, a little national TV on ESPNU. But an interesting game Friday in Clemson and Syracuse, and then California and Oregon. 2 games coming up Friday before we even get to the Saturday slate. We'll talk about those games and put a wrap on the show. You'll hear one more time from our vault of audio. We've got Derek Hall pointing out what Auburn still has to play for as they go to Fayetteville as we wrap up the show right here on The Next Round.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Take a second to listen to me. Do you have problems sleeping? Is your energy down? Your workouts not the same? Is your libido down? Your problem could be as simple as low testosterone. Whatever the challenge, the Alabama Men's Clinic has a solution. You can come in, get a medical consultation and blood work. If medically advised and you start your low T treatments that day in the office, your visit is free. Set up that appointment by calling 205-598-7000 or go to the website alabamamensclinic.com. Another side effect could be depression, and most men wait a year or longer before ever getting tested. The goal line to better sleep, more energy, a rekindled love life, and more may be as simple as getting your low T checkup at Alabama Men's Clinic. Located in Birmingham to serve you. The number again, 205-598-7000 or one click at alabamamensclinic.com. That's alabamamensclinic.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. When it came to furnishing the new facilities here at the Next Round, there was only one call we made, and that was to Richie Hamer at Business Interiors right here in Birmingham. Ritchie and Business Interiors have a true passion for interiors and the talent to bring the client's vision to life. Through their vast selection of great designer furniture, Ritchie and BI will stop at nothing to make the experience great for the client. Repeat clients trust Ritchie and Business Interiors because he does what he says, and the guys will deliver on their promises. Leave it to Ritchie and Business Interiors to incorporate creativity into every space in your corporate setting. To set up an appointment, call Ritchie today. 205-837-2497. That's 205-837-2497. Or just go visit Ritchie at the BI showroom today. They're located 2309 5th Avenue South in Birmingham. Again, the entire studios here at the Next Round furnished by our friends at Business Interiors. Go see them today, 5th Avenue South in Birmingham.
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account, have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Getting the whole family into comfortable shoes can be an incredible feat, but not at New Balance Birmingham. We have the largest selection and inventory of any specialty shoe store, and our fit specialist will match your feet with the perfect New Balance shoe. Come see us at the New Balance Birmingham store, located on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. Experience the difference a custom fit makes today at New Balance Birmingham.
The Double Down Media Podcast family is live, including the Mystery Fifth Hour, a chance for the Next Round host to talk everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, the weekly college football conversation, while sipping some of the most interesting pours of bourbon in the world. And the Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call. Lance Taylor takes off the gloves for an in-depth conversation with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Hello, I'm J.L. Shea, and 4 generations of Sheas have run our business in the same spot in downtown Homewood. People ask me from time to time why we do what we do. I can tell you that it's just not all about the clothes, although we are a little obsessive about the brands we bring into our store. No, we do what we do because of people just like you. And through all these years, I've learned one critical lesson. The most important part of a man's wardrobe is fit. When your clothes fit, they feel like part of you, not just something you put on in the morning. You move more easily, you feel more confident. And fit is not an accident or a matter of luck. It shows whether you're buying a made-to-measure suit, a jacket off the rack, or a pair of jeans. We're going to ensure that the fit is perfectly you. Come see us at Shea's. I promise you'll notice a difference. That's Shea's in downtown Homewood, where we have been since 1922.
Anheuser-Busch wants every experience for you around beer to be a good one. And getting home safely is always a priority. So encourage friends to decide to ride, whether it's by being the designated driver, calling an Uber, or taking public transit. You cannot drive drunk if you don't drive there. This message is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Birmingham Budweiser, and the Next Round. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Final segment of the show here. A couple of Cowan Equipment poll questions I've thrown out for you. One of them, do you eat in bed? And you got 3 choices: yes, occasionally, and never, no way. You can go jump in there now. But, I think Gallup would tell you the first few votes that go in, rarely does it flip around too much. Right now, 63% say never, no way, 20-something% occasionally. The other one is the biggest disappointment, what we were just talking about, of these teams so far this season, Iowa State, Clemson, LSU, and USC. You can go vote at Next Round Live. It is brought to you by our friends at Cowan Equipment.
And Cowan Equipment, proud to partner with the Next Round on our new venture. Would love the opportunity to partner with your company for your heavy equipment needs. Visit us at cowan.com to find out more about how we can be your heavy equipment solution, from rental and new equipment sales to superior service and parts. Again, cowan.com.
Okay, sometimes perception isn't reality. Sometimes it is. Our Redmont Vodka parting shot of the day comes from Derek Hall, Auburn defensive end. putting into context where Auburn is right now, and he's exactly right. The only losses for Auburn is number 1 Georgia and number 7 Penn State. Here is Derek Hall.
Obviously, we know the circumstance that's available right now, and we still control our own destiny. So just being able to, keep playing day in, day out, practicing hard day in, day out, just trusting the process and knowing that we have the opportunity there, I think is really resonating in God's head. So just being able to do that day in and day out and knowing, once again, that we have the opportunity to play for SEC championship is huge for us. And obviously that's something we're looking forward towards doing.
True or false? The win over Georgia State more damning on the belief of Auburn doing anything special this year than the losses at Penn State and to Georgia?
I think true. I think you expected the loss at Georgia. You watch Penn State and you're like, I guess, you look at it and you say they played pretty well there. They just lost the game. It kind of came down to one bad play call maybe at the end.
Yeah, I think it's Georgia State being down.
Yeah, I agree.
Being down double digits. Yeah. And also concerning is LSU was dominating that game for a minute. And if you've watched LSU lately,
they're no good.
They're a bad team. As soon as he says that, yes, Auburn does control everything in front of them. So does Mississippi State, and so does Tennessee. You realize Mississippi State and Tennessee win out, they are in a college football playoff.
Wow.
Yeah. Mississippi State with 2 losses, if they won out, they would be there.
That's 2 losses, Mississippi State.
You're just saying if they went out.
If Mississippi State beat Alabama this week and then went to the SEC championship, even with those 2 losses, and beat Georgia.
Yeah, SEC champion will get in, bro. Yeah.
Even with 2 losses, one of those to Memphis, it's a big hill to climb. And that's why I mentioned this to Fuhrman. Both these teams are 4-2. The perception of those 4-2s is entirely different. Both of them got smoked by Georgia. Arkansas played Ole Miss to the final horn. The perception of the 4-2 for Arkansas and Auburn is totally different.
But they probably should be when you really look at it. You're right. They both got smoked by Georgia.
Yep.
But the other one loss for Arkansas was that 1-point loss to a team that a lot of people believe is the third best team in the SEC.
Yeah. On the road. On the road.
And how they dominated, Texas and Texas A&M.
Auburn's other loss was to a team that, until this past weekend, was a top 5 team.
And should be unbeaten right now, if not for an injury. They were 17-3. They'd be unbeaten and number 2 in the country.
Yeah,
so Auburn would have lost to number 1 and number 2.
But what stands out is that Georgia State game you just asked about. That is why you view at least it's why I view Arkansas and Auburn so differently, is that one game. It was a win, by the way.
Yeah, it was a win, but you flipped your quarterbacks at that point.
Mm-hmm.
There was a big talk about that. You fired a wide receivers coach.
Yep.
The perception and reality are 2 totally different things right now. How about that? Barring an injury to Sean Clifford, Auburn's 2 losses would be to number 1 and number 2 in the country.
Yeah, absolutely it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, but you don't perceive them the same way you perceive Arkansas. Or a lot of people don't. I'm saying you don't, but a lot of people don't.
The same for, do you perceive Tennessee like Arkansas?
I do not.
But they've lost to Pitt and to Florida, right?
Yeah. I mean, those are not as good a losses as Arkansas if we're going to compare quality losses. But you're right. It's a 2-loss team in the Southeastern Conference. It's playing improved ball right now.
Yeah, well, Florida's number 20 in the country, and is Pitt not ranked? No, they're getting votes. They're not ranked.
No.
If they win this week at Virginia Tech, Pitt will be ranked.
Probably so.
Pitt's a 1-loss team, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, if Tennessee wins this week, it'll change my perception of them. And they've got a good shot of winning that game.
If Tennessee wins, they'll be ranked too,
Yeah, interesting. That's our parting shot from down at Auburn, brought to you by our friends at Redmond Vodka.
Hey, their aim, clarity, and taste, color, and smell. It's vodka perfection. Redmond Vodka made from corn, which not only makes it gluten-free, also provides that smooth finish that doesn't have a harsh aftertaste. It's 8 times distilled, available at your local package and ABC stores. Also, don't forget about your new favorite Simple Classic Gin. Vulcan Gin, also gluten-free, 8 times distilled. The fastest-growing distillery in Alabama is Redmond. Pick up a bottle today.
All right, wrapping up the show here, a couple of people are upset that we were sort of hinting that maybe Eli Ricks being out for the rest of the season, we were, jumping on the fact that he's opting out for the rest of the season. He does have an injury. His family's electing to do a surgery that will end his season. Those are the facts. The thing that makes it precarious is on Monday, Ed Orgeron said that Ricks would play in the Florida game coming up this weekend. And then on Wednesday, they announced he is done for the year and is going to have this surgery, opting to go ahead and take care of that reoccurring problem. So that's what makes people question, are some of these LSU players, much like last year, starting to say, I'm done with this season.
It may be semantics, but I'm not necessarily saying opting out. I'm just saying do you maybe put off the surgery if you're 6-0?
Yeah. All right. That's our show. Thanks for being with us today. We're back live with you tomorrow. The great Aaron Suttles has arrived. He and LT are about to record a Bama and Bourbon. I don't know if the bourbon's any good. Watch and find out. I bet it's good. The bottle looks fantastic, though. It's like a trophy in there, a trophy of bourbon. It's standing by in the green room. We're going to record that. Don't forget to look on all of our platforms for Bama and Bourbon and get a little insight into Alabama football. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.